So here's a question that I get from people who want to get into IT, and it's those who make custom computers on the side or those who are into PC gaming and are enthusiasts with tinkering and making custom computers. They want to know, does their experience in building custom gaming computers translate into real world corporate IT jobs? Well, I will say it kind of does in a very small amount of your time in a normal corporate IT job. For one, it does count as experience if you can somehow put that on the resume. Also, knowing about the components of a system will definitely help you get your A+ exam. And it also helps if you're comfortable with opening up the chassis and replacing your major components. Being comfortable with doing that will make it easier and quicker to do RMAs if you have dead hardware somewhere in the computer. Also, if you need something like a RAM upgrade because, the business isn't ready to replace computers, well, then you'll at least be able to research the maximum supported RAM for the motherboard, but nowadays with Crucial.com and other sites, that stuff can easily be looked at online. But other than that, nobody really cares about your custom gaming PC in the business. If you look around on YouTube, you'll see people constantly saying how wrong it is to use a computer where you didn't personally assemble each piece of it yourself. Well, good luck doing that in a place with dozens or hundreds of users. Much like a police department will buy a whole bunch of Ford Tauruses or Crown Victorias, Impalas, or Ford Explorer trucks, you buy fleets of identical hardware. Why? Because you need predictability in a business setting. I mean, when I was in charge of purchasing computers, I would make sure that we all had the same type of computer. Now, the place you may work at may love Dell, some might like HP, some might like Lenovo, some of you folks might like Apple, but either way, we would buy multiple of the same computer. Why? Because you need predictability. For example, within the first few months or weeks or sometimes years of deploying a new set of hardware for everybody, you've pretty much seen every problem that you'll ever see with the hardware, and then you'll quickly know exactly how to fix that error message because you've seen it 100 times before. Nobody in a business setting is going to have patience for you to research a one-off error message on your overclocked CPU on your MSI X470 Gaming Plus Max motherboard Revision BIOS 2.354B. We don't have time for that in the business. I'm sorry. And again, on the internet and on YouTube, people will make all these videos arguing with each other about how much airflow your case has in it, or how if you orient the radiator one way or another way, you might get an extra maybe 2 or 3 frames per second on max settings in a AAA game. But I mean, in the real world, how many frames per second does Karen in the accounting department need to run Microsoft Excel? So, what's my point? Well, my point is the same as most of my other videos on this channel. IT in the real world is almost nothing like what people portray on the internet. It's me, your really awesome IT guy.